R&D capabilities, Pankaj sir? And then I will ask.
Yeah, I will explain you about the R&D activities, what and how we are different from other companies, and what is our philosophy to develop these kind of systems. First thing, I would like to say how we are differentiate, how we are is different from others. It is a deep domain expertise. We have around 250 years of cumulative railway domain experience my team is having. Although I invested my whole life, my whole professional life for developing these kind of inverter converter systems, and but the technology is upgrading day by day. So a lot of things has to be done. Now we are moving from, said by Mohiji, now we are moving from propulsion system of locomotives to the different domains like MEM, which is distributed power supplies. So the main propulsion system is to be broken into pieces to get the higher acceleration and the safety measures. Then the new things which we will be adding to our basket will be the total load converter and integrated propulsion systems, and we are side by side working on the new technologies. Like there is a need for speed, there is a need to carry more and more weight through these kind of goods locomotive. How we can achieve this? So we will be migrating, like Word is also migrating. If we talk about the bullet train, they also have the silicon-based technology right now, which India is procuring from Japan. We also have the silicon-based technology, but the new requirement will be from silicon to silicon carbide. So already we have started with the help of railways working on these kind of technologies. So this is also one of the major area we will be working. What it will do? It will reduce the cooling system requirements by 70%. In turn, the weight will be less, so you can haul at high speed. So all that, the basic core technology is ready. Now you have to add the attributes to enter into different kind of segments. The first thing is that. Second thing is the digitization. So the technology is moving towards the digitization more and more. People are talking about the digital twin model. Means you can see the complete locomotive characteristics by sitting in a lab. So you are just creating the exact model in the digitally and simulator, and then you can see how it will be performing in the locomotives. So we are also moving. We are also moving on remote sensing from sitting in our lab to see the performance of our propulsion system right now, and then we will be extrapolating this technology to that will cater the requirements in the digital twin in the future. So
Thank you. So you have two further questions in terms of R&D spend you mentioned. Yeah. So our conventional business was profitable business. So we were very considerate, entire profits that was coming out of those conventional business was being spent on this R&D of propulsion system every year over year. Tentatively 7-8 crores every year was the expense. So for last 5 years we have been spending this much on the propulsion system.
So from cable connectors to electrical components, switch gears, and now today the latest propulsion systems. Can you give some milestones about your journey, how you have achieved this, and what are the challenges you faced, and how did you overcome?
The journey started, as I mentioned, 1.5 decade ago. Prior to that, I was working for companies like Tyco Electronics, that happened to be the world's largest electronic component supplier, and a company called 3M, again a US company, and I used to handle their electronics system division for India region. So while doing so I had certain interactions with railway industry as well, along with other industries. So I knew a little bit about railways, and I came to know about this opportunity of cable protection systems. So that time I was being asked to be posted to another region, either probably UK, a place called Sweden. So I decided to start on my own. So when I started with this particular product line. I went to RDS, so I said I want to develop this. They said if you can do that, we'll be very excited. So they gave the opportunity. Generally, they don't encourage. RDS, so it takes 3 months immediately went to China, ordered extrusion machines, molding machines, CNC turning machines, and we started. Not having enough R&D background, we did a lot of experiments. So एक दिन extruder फट गया, हम वहाँ पे करके और बच गए. So then after that we kept working and then we successfully developed it. And then initial 4 or 5 years were very very exciting for us in terms of because a person from a service background having success in business and then the business transformed immediately to 50, 60, 70 crores. It was very exciting. We kept adding more and more products. The business in railways is also relation based kind of because you get a lot of support from the officers, technical officers particularly in that domain because of the needs and all. So they kept supporting us. We continue to struggle. We continue to work hard, and that is how we reached this milestone of propulsion systems.
Sir, your ROE and ROCE figures are negative in the year FY26.
Yes.
And what are the key drivers the management expects to restore these return ratios?
So you will appreciate that the first 14, 15 years remain profitable, never like last year, because there was an approval which came into place September, half of that year, and we had to be ready to scale up the operations. Now, whenever you start, you consider that you're starting a new business. When you're starting a new business, then you have to spend initially, probably sometimes 1 year, 2 years or so. And then your revenue starts. So the revenue is starting now. And between that, there were increased operation costs because of this stamping up of this capacity. So that led to this negative, I would say temporarily negative listing phase. And once we start the revenues of this propulsion system using these proceeds, I hope that this will be fine talk.
Thank you.
Hello, you. How exposed is the company to potential shift in government railway expenditure and policy priorities?
Railway technology has mostly, Japan is very, very, I would say, advanced. But you will see mostly in India, railway has technology has evolved from Europe. We generally follow Europe, generally. The way they started with locomotives, the way we went into train sets, EMUs, we entered into Vande Bharat, now we were progressing towards bullet trains. So, the governments, past governments also, when they also had similar kind of objectives, which the current government also has. But yes, now there is a lot of focus towards self-reliance, that we should not only manufacture in India, we should have our own IPRs so that we are not dependent on anybody. So lot of impetus, lot of support is being given to the companies who want to invest in R&D activity. Generally, when you talk about governments, railways used to have a different separate budget earlier. Now it is actually merged into it. But so that time it was very, very visible to everybody. Nowadays it is not very visible. But generally people who are working in railways, you just browse through the websites of railways. You will get to know how many locomotives are scheduled to be built in next 5 years. 2028, 29, 29, 30. You will get the volumes in that and the total spend in next 5 years. You will see how many EMUs which will be built in next 5 years. So it is very, very I would say visible, and that is why I said stable business, so that we can plan our investments. It enables us to plan our investments accordingly to support the system.
How do fluctuations in raw material prices affect your business?
Generally, they support in the way that they know there can be fluctuation in steel, copper, aluminum, etc. So there is a term called IEEE. So that gives you some kind of factor, some kind of how do you say EMA, some kind of index, right?
EMA is the industrial body which gives the price variation escalation matrix, and that escalation matrix as a reference is already provided in the purchase order with the reference date. So if there is any price fluctuation after that reference date, it can always get covered into it.
Good afternoon, team
this news. Your company runs a risk of customer concentration because major revenue source is Indian Railways. So, as a strategy, how do you propose to diversify your operations so that that risk is reduced? Secondly, does your company deploy AI and ML into operations so that it can scale rapidly and match the global standards? Thanks.
Your first question I will answer, and then I think probably Pankaj sir will answer your second question about AI. The first question states that complete concentration on Indian Railways. So Indian Railways happen to be a state-owned organization right from the beginning. But you will see that recently, some 2, 3, 4 years ago, there has been privatization initiatives also. Do you remember 200 Vande Bharat train order was also placed, and one Russian company won 120 trains, and 80 trains were won by a company called Titagar Wagons. So we have now inquiries, we have now businesses coming from private sectors as well, and we have already received this kind of requirements. And this I would say this business is not limited to or not going to be limited to just Indian Railways. At the moment, when we talk about this order book, or this is mainly from locomotive units, and we need a scale up initially, 1.5 year in getting stabilized. We have plans to go global immediately after that. We will exhibit. We wish to exhibit at the biggest event of railways that happens in Germany every 2 years. We will exhibit our technology. We'll go global, and we are very hopeful that we will bring good amount of business from global companies.
Yeah, regarding AI, I would like to say that already we are using the AI to reduce our design time, not in the operational or the assembly time, because in assembly there are a lot of different kind of means applications are there. It's not the repeated things. So AI for the production is not feasible for these kind of technologies. But of course, in design phases and in simulation, we are taking use of AI. Thank you.
Hello.
Your R&D center is called DSI.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So apart from the recognition, what strategic and competitive benefits does it bring for the company?
When you are approved by DSIR, so it is a combination of central level and state level incentives and subsidies. So it is not solely central level. So depends upon which state you are and which state is offering what subsidies. So we are studying. We have recently got recognition. So we are studying different states. कौन सी state हमारे को क्या ज़्यादा दे सकती है? तो क्या हमको वो migrate करना है वहाँ पे? So that is one part of it. But on the central level, it is pretty clear that the R&D initiatives that will be taken care in future, near future or in future, we will get good parts as an incentives back on the spendings. We can apply in certain states about electricity duty, some certain states about land subsidy, certain states about capital expenditure you get in return in the form of SGST. So these are certain things which are facilitated once you have this kind of approval. So we are working on that, ma'am.
Sure. And how does your second upcoming R&D center differ from the first one existing in terms of capabilities?
It will be very same. It has same, first of all, color. Both are red color building. So it is on the other side of road, just parallel to that. And the third one is that engineers will have same domain knowledge, tools and techniques will be same. Only thing will be the test bed will be different. Here we have 6,000 horsepower, about 5 megawatt of this thing. There it will be smaller because locomotive, when it pulls the train, it has all the power concentrated inside the locomotive. But we are in Bombay. Every 3 kilometers there is a station, 2 kilometers. You need immediate acceleration and you need to brake immediately when the station comes. अगर locomotive brake लगाएगा तो सब डब्बे थाड़ करके अंदर चले जाएंगे. So what do we need to do? We need to break this propulsion system into small pieces और सभी coaches के नीचे लटका देते हैं. So all the coaches will accelerate together, brake also together. छोटे हो गए, so test bed will be smaller. तो वो फर्क है।
And would you be also serving hot taxis?
Hello, Vishnu Bora over here. So your presentation was amazing. Now next time when we go in railways, so we will always think about you. The brake path also. That's you told that you know we're working on heart as well as working on brain, and you have really caught the nerves of railway.